Two teams, two squads full of talent, two innings of what should be a showpiece for cricket PNG in this country. Welcome to Amini Park, the home of cricket here in Papua New Guinea. It's a magnificent sunny Sunday, so get yourself down here if you're not watching on TV. Strap yourself into your seats, guys. In 2 hours' time, we'll have our 2026 Isuzu Smash Champions crowned. And now just sit back and enjoy the journey, because we don't know where the journey's going to go. This is going to be a close one. Two teams full of talent. Two teams laden with batting and bowling skill. Two teams, there's a toss of a coin who might actually come out crowned the winners. Isuzu, the river keeps flowing, and the entertainment will flow this afternoon for sure, guys. This is going to be massive. To our sponsors, Barocco Motors, we invented a new word this morning. H, what's the new word? D-Max. D-Max, we said it together. We hope we see a lot of D-Max in this game. Our umpires are Lu Kappa and Tiwa Awala, experienced at the game as both cricketers and now as referees, as umpires. So a lot of batting talent, a lot of bowling talent, and a lot of umpiring talent as well. The Mariners have won the toss, and it's been the case for most games in this series. They've elected to bat. Runs on the board, as proved into the repechage game, were very hard to get to. 123 games set in third versus fourth, and that proved too much. Will it be the same today? Our first over will be from the Bassini end. Robin bowling, Apollo facing. Let the games begin. Mariners versus Cassowaries. It doesn't get any better than this. Whew. Take a big breath, H. We have Hello Willie here in the box with us at this stage. Rugi will be joining us later. And thanks again to Hello Gaudi out there with the cameras. She's doing a fabulous job on a very hot, precarious position there, sitting on the side of the container here at Amini Park, down the Bassini end. Aparo has been quite efficient during this series so far. Hopefully his first spell can replicate what he's done over the past week and a little bit. Umpire waves. Timo Wawala making sure everything's perfectly in line. Right arm over the wicket. In comes Robin on the off stump, on the corridor of uncertainty, and pushed to sort of a backward point position, gully position, no run. A fair bit of nervous energy out there at the moment. I'm sure they didn't have the chicken and chips or fish and chips like we had for lunch, fish and rice. H, I reckon they would have had something more fruity than that. They'd be pretty nervous. Big stakes, big game. Will bring the best out of everyone. Robin once more in off the run as a pull shot, or attempted pull shot. Didn't get much of that one. It's gone to the short mid-wicket region, no run. As we explained in the morning, two players out only in the first power play of 6 overs in the 2020 format. And isn't it great to see our young cricketers around the boundary line for this final? Once again, Robin in third ball. A slash outside off stump. It's called a wide by umpire Awala. And as H waves, the wide signals come to us here in the commentary box. First runs on the board to the Mariners, even though it's an extra. It's still a nervous time for everyone. More pushed onto the offside on this occasion. Nicely played. Racing out towards the boundary line. It has quickened up, and it's 4 runs. Very disappointed out there. Our boundary rider for the Creo cricket team nearly got his first touch of the white ball, but never quite crossed across the boundary line there. There she goes. Kwanaki walking around to him, high-fiving the players around the boundary line. They're our young Creo cricketers, guys. the up-and-coming Barry Mundies and Lowers. He got behind the ball, but unfortunately never got his first touch. Once again, right arm over the wicket. This time it's short of a length, pushed out offside through the gully / point position, and they jog through for 2 runs. A brisk start. Score now none for 7 or 4 deliveries. That included the wide, of course, and rotating the strike's important. Jason Kidder's Mariners full of batting talent. They bat right down. Hopefully they get a good start today. Again, this one should have punched into the covers and no run. That's the end of the first over, guys. Score none for 7 and Loy on 6, and of course a Paro yet to get off the mark. Looks like a gout coming from the Manu end. H gives me the nod. Let's just see if that's true warming up. He is flinging that right arm and left arm around. Umpire Kappa has his arm out. Alu Kappa, very experienced umpire again. And facing will be Apollo. Thank you. He's just indicated right arm over the wicket. 6 balls to come. Just gentle medium pace here. Does a little bit off the pitch, a little bit through the air, and he comes. Well, it's just short of length, punch to the offside, and they thought about it, but that would have been a disaster to have a wicket so early. So thanks again, guys, for coming and watching, and either you're here watching or you might be at home watching or on your phone. Thank you to Baroka Motors for making sure this happens each year. H tells me the Cassowaries are the defenders of this trophy, so they're going for back to back to back. Once again, in she comes. And it's knocked his peg over. That is a blinder of a delivery. I think that's cut back at least half a foot. And very upset with himself at Paro for not covering over that one. There was a gap between bat and pad. We'll love to see this one on replay. It does look like there's been a bit of in-swing with that. Have a look once more. Oh yeah, that's cut well back. Let's take a middle and leg. That is a ripper. So sometimes you just have to say to the bowler, well bowled, mate. That was a ripping delivery. Have a look, H. Right arm over. Pitch is outside off stump. I reckon he's got a little under edge on that. Would you agree? Yeah, it's his in-swinger for sure. And it's just taken. So very disappointing for a younger Poro, but sometimes you just get a blinder. And that was again the experience in this side, that's Mariners' side. Can it get him over the line today? Interesting, our second batsman's come out without a helmet on, just with his cap. He's a braver man than I am. Pulkana, aggressive. Surveys the field. Emmanuel Pulkana facing Gal. This one's down the leg side, single or wide. And I think with no helmet on, Pulkana signals the intentions as well. He's going to play his shots, I would say, right from the start. That's what he's there for. Already a very exciting start. 1 for 8 off 1.2. Will Pulkana hit with a swing? He's dug that one out, pushed onto the onside, no run. I wonder if Emmanuel will try and replicate Richard's innings from the previous game, guys. That would be entertainment plus. Gal's another kettle of fish, so he's moving the ball prolifically off the pitch. Once again, short of length that time, cut down through where a first slip would have been, rolling down towards the boundary, and they jog through for an easy 2. where it's a very hard game to set a field to. You know, we've seen 2 slips in place today. In this case, we've got no slips in place, and Captain Legasiaka has actually opted for that. Mariners, Cassowaries. In once more, he's had a windy old woof at that one. Woof. Kana. He's been given definite instructions out there, H, and blocking them is not one of those instructions. Can he get under one here, H? Can he just drop that little bit short, which gives him a bit of leverage? Here we go once more, go in. That one's down the pad, a big appeal for LBW. With the angle, with the swing, and with the foot position that Kana had right then, there was no chance of that being given out. LBW. We now have 2 overs up, 1 for 10. 7 runs off Robbins bowling. He will bowl the next over again by the look of it. And a very economical first over from Gao, plus the wicket. Lawyer Pakana punch gloves. Look at the crowd, and the outer crowd there is really built up into the little grandstands there. The bleachers are filling up quickly, so get yourself down here to the party atmosphere. This is anyone's game. So Tom, change of bowling. Keep her up to the stumps to keep them honest. He doesn't want them dancing down the wicket to young Tom. Wants to keep them honest. Bouncy Tom. Husband of Townie, how I've been told. I still reckon Townie's a quicker bowler though. Hope you're listening, T. Hope you're listening out there, and he comes. Down the leg side slightly, pushed around the corner, easy run. And that brings the big hitter, Bukana, on strike. Can he temper his natural aggression to some degree? H is just smiling at me. This ball's going to go somewhere. If it's in his zone, it's going to fly. With all these feelers up, I reckon you're stiff to get caught on the outfield with all this up. What he's gone for, he's gone for a deep mid-wicket out of the circle and a deep mid-off out of the circle too. He's left that one alone. Said, that's not where I want it. You bowl to me. Bouncy Tom from the village of Party? Yep. I guessed it. In comes Tom to Pakana. Pakana has a swing and a miss at that one. Whippy little action that he has, gets a bit of bounce. Hello, I taught him all you know, I hear. Halay's taught him how to bowl, bat, field. He's one of Halay's proteges. I don't know where Emmanuel's going. He's headed off to square leg, maybe to hand over his... Not sure what he gave the square leg umpire there, H. Was it his cap? His cap. He's batting capless. That means he really means business now, H. He really means business. I reckon Assad sent him out there for one reason, and this could be the reason this ball. Oh, he's got something in his eye. Goodness me. A bit of a little bug come up from the grass or something. He's happy now. Emmanuel Pokana faces up. Tom slightly short of length, tucked around the corner once more. A bit more bat on that one, mate. It's racing across the turf. A dive, a stop, and they'll hopefully come back for 3. And they do get 3 runs for that. Well run, guys. Another discussion.
It's 4 runs.
Oh, it's gone for 4. That's interesting, guys. From what our camera angle was here, we thought he got a hand to and pushed it back, but it has trickled over the boundary line for 4, which brings Bakara back on strike. Bakana back on strike. Let's have a look. Let's have a close look. H. Maybe he touched it as he was going over the line, which makes it 4. Here we come once more. This time tucked around the corner once more, but this time back to backward square leg. Short fine leg and no run. Pacific Oz Sports, a big thank you to you guys too. I know how much you put into the sports in the South Pacific. Thank you for everything you do. Once again, a fine over here from young Tom. Really, really good. He got hit for 4 there, but 5 runs off an over in T20 cricket is quite commendable. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You do the maths there, you multiply 5 by 20, you hit it with 100 runs, and that's not a winning score. So well done to young Tom. Obviously listening to his wife when she gives him instructions of line, length, pitch, and hitting that line of what we call insecurity. I think Damien Fleming calls it the death line, doesn't he? Just above off stump. The line of uncertainty. Gow back on 1 for 3 off his first over with that magnificent delivery. Knocked out middle peg. Can he replicate that? But we've got Loy on strike. Comes in short outside the off stump and punch through the covers, and that has gone for 4 runs. Lovely shot from young Loy. Is that correct? Yeah.
It's Isuzu.
Anui Loy. Yeah. Here we go once more. This one. Cut again through or push through to the curves. A short cutter picks that one up easily. H and I discussed this morning as well, guys. You know, if you get a 4 off the first ball, it does put the bowler on the back foot. So let's see if we can build on that 4 to hopefully get over 6 or 7 runs for this over. Once again, punched down the ground. Had a quick look, they thought about it, they went for it, they ran it, and they got there. Bit of a mix-up, but in the end it was a good run. Ish. Once again, thank you to our friends at MJ Electrical, to Mick and the team there. They've been doing a massive lot of work in the club rooms here too. So thank you for all you do for Cricket PNG. Pure water, we've given the race, they can see our boundary riders around the outside, or with their pure water bottles, keeping them well hydrated. In comes Gow. Right arm over, that one's punched down the ground, or attempted to punch down the ground, missed, through to the keeper, no run. Definite ploy of having the keeper up, of course. Wicket keeper needs to be up for a bowler of this pace, especially when you've got a striking batsman who likes to use his feet and get down the ground. This keeps him very, very honest. Keeps that back foot behind the popping crease. Once again, a slashing drive through the covers, out to point and no run. Ilavari right up to the stumps. Gow comes in. He's gone the Bindi Wolf at that one. It's ricocheted off something. H and I having a good look at this one. We want the replay, and they jog through for 1 run. And well bowled, Mr. Gow, because there was a lot of shots being played there, but in the long run, not a lot of runs scored. So you've done your job, mate. You've done your job. That one's well pitched up. Oh dear, just in front of it. There's nothing worse, H, is there? Eh? You don't know whether to go for it or whether to use your body to stop it. So, well under the fielder there. I think he did a little bit of both. Once more, well pitched up, nearly Yorkland, just outside off stump. He dived forward and sure he didn't headbutt that one, but it could have been nasty. It could have been right in the garbage of mouth. So let's have a look at the worm there. Back in his left over. This time it's a swing and a miss, a little outswing, and he's got an edge on that, a tickle on that, and that is out. Good disciplined bowling from young Robin. Yep. Switched over the bowlers again, H. We did, definitely. So a little outswinger, got the edge, and the hard-hitting Bukano goes back to the rooms a little bit disappointed. Old apologise there, guys. Bacana came back on, and that's now 2 down for 21 runs of 4.1. So the run rate's okay at this stage of proceedings. With 2 wickets down, you'd have to say the Cassowaries were on top. One thing we have to mention though is the Assad Vala coming in down the order a little bit, and how he batted on Friday was just masterful. You know, a delicate situation, comes in there, obviously doesn't have nerves, he's got nerves of steel, and casually plunks a couple of sixes into the outfield, which changed the tone of that game completely. So my point there is there's a lot to come. A lot of batting, but also a lot of entertaining. So a wicket off the first ball, a total opposite to what it does for the batting team when they hit a 6. This puts a lot of pressure on the new batsman Frank as he faces up the left-hander, the diminutive left-hander. And in comes Robin, pushes that one onto leg stump and pushed into the short mid-wicket region, no run. Something you know about our coach Tim McCaskill. He's got a lot of bowlers bowling around the wicket, over the wicket, veering, and what they're doing. He's really brought a new phase of bowling to these squads for sure. When I say phase, I said, you know, learning new skills. That one's called a wide, and very colourfully waved by umpire Vala as well. Let's have a look at this one, H. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. I'm always on the side of the bowler, H, as you can see. Always on the side of the bowler. H is on the side of the batter, I'm on the side of the bowler. Again, dot ball, that's what we want. Well done to Robin. Robin. You can see Legasiaka waving the field wider. Mid-off region, in comes Vala, pushed around the corner, an easy run to square leg. I know this is a tournament that all the cricketers around the country look forward to. So we've had players from Oro Province, we've had players from Morobe, players from Milne Bay Province, players from Central, players from NCD, all here for this tournament. 2 deliveries to go on this over, score 2 for 30, 23. 1.4 overs, 1 for 9. Robin right arm over the wicket this time to batsman Frank, to Loy, sorry. Right-hander on strike, he pushes it through to point, and no run. A conservative start by other standards in other games, but these guys bat down deep, so they'll know, even if the power play isn't prolific, they've got batting depth down the ground to really push the run rate long towards the 10 over mark through to the 20 over mark. In comes Robin, Robin into bowl, right arm over. A swing and a miss, and an actually outside edge on this occasion, enough of that to run down through where the first slip would have been, and that's 4 runs off the edge. It's alright to say, oh, and lift your heads up, but if you haven't got a slip in there, mate, you can't expect the catch to go to the slips, can you, H? So that's 4 runs. Dancing down, big thick edge, the harder you hit them, the quicker they go. And like we spoke about this morning, H and I, the outfield is getting quicker the longer this day goes. 2 things when there's blame. One of our, you can see around the outside there, we're panning onto all our kids. Put your hat on, son. These are all family members of players and also staff here at Cricket PNG. They've been given a brand new hat, brand new shirt, and a massive feed. Look at this fella. He's got 10 out of 10 for his style. Very serious instructions. So if the ball's travelling like a tracer bullet, they've got to let it hit the fence, don't let it hit them. So a lot of safety involved in that too. So well done. change of bowling again. We've got Moria coming on. Is that right, H? It's Buggy Moria, it is. And he comes. He's Loffies. Right arm around the wicket he's chosen to bowl to, and bowling to Gabba Frunk. Buggy Moria. Right arm around the wicket. Definite off-break action, hit into the covers. They scurry through for one. And nice work from the keeper, Hilavari, as well. A little backhander over the stumps. He's got lovely hands here, hasn't he? He's got a wickets keeper's hands. Look at this. Gathers, whack onto the stumps. That is brilliant keeping work. Let's call it just in case he had his foot out, just in case he didn't ground the bat. Good start for Varghese. Can he keep it up? He's decided to come right arm over the wicket to the right hander. They've set a short mid wicket in here for some particular reason, just to keep the pressure on the new batter, I would say. It's Loy on strike to Moria. Inside the off stump, good line, good length, and good variety. Again, right arm over the wicket. Bit of a toppy on that one. He's gone for LBW. Shake it there from the umpire. Ball trickles down to where a gully would have been, and a leg bye called. On strike, Gabba Frank. Maria looking nervous as he comes into bowl. Big tweak of that one, tweak of the wrist, and again landing him pretty well for a first over. Little offies. Next delivery. Bit more loop, a bit more push, a bit more spin, and pushed out the covers once more. So a conservative approach to the two new batters, or the new batting pair. And let's have a look at the worm. That's what we call a consistent worm. Nothing dramatic, just pushing along, and of course we haven't had a cluster of wickets yet, so hopefully for the sake of the Mariners that continues. Power play now over as H waves his hand to umpire Awala. And that means our field restrictions have been lifted. 2 for 29 off a power play is not a massive score, but I think in the same situation in other games we've seen 4 wickets down, so that will be significant later in the innings. Noah coming into bowl. They're really mixing out with the bowlers, aren't they, Hayes? They're not letting these batsmen settle in with one specific bowler bowling to them. They're changing around very, very regularly. In comes Noah. Down the leg side. I'm not sure if there's anything on that, but it's gone racing down to fine leg, and they've jogged through for 2. You must have got a tickle on that one, H. 2 runs. Louis on strike to Null. Hello now from Anuabada. Dances down the pitch. There, underneath it, the call is mine, and it's been gobbled up. That has been gobbled up by the mid-on fielder. So that's a massive wicket guy. Loy out for 18. And he's admonishing himself, the Hannibal Barter lad. He said, what was I thinking? He's hit that straight up in the air. It's actually taken by the mid-off fielder, with the mid-on fielder coming into field. That's a disappointment for Allo as he marches back. 3 for 31 the score. Frank on 2 not out. Run rate 4.89. Rating 13.4. Still plenty of time, still plenty of talent. Assad Vala comes out to bat. For many, many years there's been a lot riding on his shoulders, and he's always carried it with great dignity and grace. Can he get the Mariners back on track to a competitive score? Can he bat like he did on Friday? If he did, we're looking at 140. You can see the Cassowaries, they're talking, there's chat out there, they're saying this is the one we want, the left-handed king of PNG cricket. Takes his block on leg and centre, casually marks it, and facing now. I'm sure he's faced many times before. Hello now. Right arm over the wicket. Pushed onto the leg stump, and Assad pushes that to deep mid wicket and scurries through for one. Such a wristy player, isn't he, H? It looks like he's played on the subcontinent, either Pakistan or India, his whole career is. Just totally masterful on that onside. Now decides to come around the wicket to the left-handed Frank. Wide outside the off stump, and he leaves that one well enough alone. I know Jason Killer would be quite nervous, a young coach doing a grand job with cricket PNG in his first few months. And I was watching this morning, I got here really early, and Johnny Ovia was sitting up in the stand just reflecting on things. You know, what's he going to say to the players? What's his batting order going to be? Hardest thing sometimes is leaving players out of a side for a grand final too. What do you say to them? H is making some signals here. There's a dead ball happening. He knows all the signals, H. That one's dead ball. He's now moved to slip into place for Gabba Frank. And then he comes. Right arm around the wicket. Pushed onto the backward point position, no run. For the Mariners' sake, we don't want to run out of this stage of proceedings. Just go along nicely. A lot of experience out there batting and bowling. This is why it's a grand final, Hates. This is what it's all about. Right arm around the wicket. Dances down, has a swing and a woof. That one's right up in the air, and that's taken easily too. So a disappointing end to Gabba Frank's innings, out for two. And the new bit of learning I had from Friday, and thanks for H for this, that ever since I started playing cricket way back in 1970, when you hit a ball up in the air and you cross over, you then face the next delivery if there's been a crossover. But the new rule is, and H explained it to me after Friday's session, is the new batsman will then take strike and face the next delivery, which is probably a fair thing, isn't it, hey? There was no run scored, so why should you be facing the next delivery? So another disappointing dismissal, not really necessary in my opinion, but it's the way 2020 cricket goes. So looking at the scoreboard there, Vala's not out one, Kelly's coming into bat, and they've changed it. Oru's coming into bat. There's been a change in the order. Thanks H for pointing that out. Awari Ora. Aware? Sorry, I'm not echoing here, guys. I'm just getting a correct pronunciation from H. He knows because it's a Parry boy out. He gets shaky, he gets happy every time a Parry boy comes in. So Parry and Hanawabata fellows here, the home of cricket, and he's taking strike. That was the end of the over, guys. So Moria's coming in, Assad Vala facing, and none for one of his first over. Lagi Maria. Right arm around the wicket to the master. Played with great respect back to the bowler or down the crease. 4.47 run rate, nothing wrong with that at this stage. Assad will play himself in, I'm sure, for the next two overs. Then he comes once more. That one's short. Assad gets inside of that one, hits it long, hits it strong, hits it over the fence for six.
D-Max.
That's a D-Max! Our first D-Max. Well done. D-Max twin cab, all the way from, of course, Barocco Motors. Isuzu D-Max. What a car. Yep. One thing you learn quickly in this game is not to drop short to Assad, especially when he's in a mood like this. And he comes once more. Compensated, over pitched outside the off stump and punched through the covers this time. They look for one, they look for two, they're happy with the one. Going way back, haven't Isuzu been there for the long haul, over 110 years of service in the automobile trade. Started on the banks of the Isuzu River there in Japan, in the town of Isuzu, I-Z-E. Once again, right arm over the wicket this one. A real tweak of the wrist this time. It's a very loose wrist. They look for one, misfield, and they haven't done anything silly. They look again. H and I like it when this stuff happens. Comedy capers, we call it. I said to everyone, if you're listening, guys, or watching What's the European League, it's some of the funny videos on YouTube of that group. Comes once more, pushed into the covers, no run. We're having another replay there. What are you? Right arm over. Real flick of the wrist. That's a ripper. Has that gone through the gap? It has. I think that's taken off stump. That's a delightful delivery, H. That is in the corridor of uncertainty for sure. Oru seemed to do everything right. He seemed to have it covered, but it found that gap, and that's all it has to do, and it's taken the off peg right out of its haunches. So we have trouble now here in town. That's one really has spun back in and hit that off stump.
There's a stump.
Hey?
Stump.
Let's have a look. I apologise, guys. There's a stumping, and H has helped me out here. Let's have a look. He must have moved his back foot up in the air, did he? Let's have a close look, everyone. Watch. I thought originally it hit the top of the off stump. The keeper's taken it. He's overbalanced. Well, all I can say, if that's stumped H, he must have lifted his... Is that what you're saying? In that case, it's a brave decision from the umpire for sure. He's got the best position. Difficult for us here when I'm looking at the back of the player. So our new batsman in is Kelly this time on my right, H?
Yeah.
Thank you. Gia Kelly?
Sigo Kelly.
Sigo? How do you get Sigo out of that? It's a G-I-A-H. Right, push back appeal, half-hearted appeal for LBW and not out. So what will the conversation between Kelly and Vala be in between innings? You can see Coach Tim sitting on the fence there. He's sitting on the fence in many ways. He hasn't got a favourite team, so sitting on the fence in our vernacular means you don't barry for one team or the other. So that's why you can see Coach Tim sitting on the fence. Tell you what, this man must have sore hands at the end of the day, because we've seen him every day this week, maybe catching 1,000 balls or throwing them down or talking to the people, doing a fabulous job with Cricket PNG. So thank you, Tim, for all your hard work, and the cricket we've seen in the last week and a half has really been a lot of your hard work out there. In comes Noah into bowl. Well pitched up, a little bit of in-swing on that occasion. Negotiated by Assad very, very well. You can see me and H, we're not making any predictions at all, guys, because we know we've seen this scenario over the last few days, and 5 for 39 can all of a sudden be 7 for 110. So don't count your chickens before they've hatched, H, because we know there's many sides. I've moved the deep mid on now. Deep mid wicket, and Assad hits that one softly onto the onside, and they jog through for an easy run. As Nasser would have said, you cannot protect their bowlers down the non-striking end here. You have to face, you have to hit runs, you have to be part of partnership. So young Kelly, good luck. onside, no run. Proceedings is a very delicate part of the game, guys. H and I are nervous. We're just hoping that this batting pair can get their eyes in and get a formidable total. We don't want a whitewash here. That wouldn't be good for the game. And I don't reckon it'll happen. Not with Assad out there. So far from Noah, and he comes right home over the wicket, swing and a miss, never on, not on that line, outside off stump. You can read Assad's lips, can't you, mate? He'll be saying, look, nothing silly, you need to be there for me, back me up, just play every ball on its merits. We're going to do with that shot is hit it in the air and go out. So Assad helping his younger partner down the other end with some words of advice. This time he hasn't taken any lift of that. He's whacked it down the outside the off stump. It's out. Oh, it's a misfield in the outfield. The luck's a fortune, hey. So run through for two, but that could have been a catastrophe for the Mariners at this stage of proceedings. So obviously whatever Assad said, it didn't really sink in, I don't think, mate, because the next shot's exactly the same. Okay, let's have a look at this shot, hey? It's just a windy wolf, isn't it, mate, hey? Oh, I reckon he caught the other fieldsman out of the corner of his eye there. Could have been a nasty clash, so hopefully the talk was good. Assad on strike. Moria's going to bowl his third over by the look of it, H1 for 8, excellent figures. And looking on side, looking on the offside, looking straight down the ground. He's got a wide range of shots, this fella. So Moria's going to have to be at his best to hold us up to a decent score. Pushes that one through, out to the covers, out to the mid-off position, no run. Moria, 2, 3, 4 steps, slightly shorter this time, pushed on the onside, wide of the mid-wicket fielder, and they jog through for one. Sigo Kelly facing what's going through his mind. That's one easy run. H and I are history buffs, guys. We talk about the history of these games all the time, and we mentioned the other day about how this all started, what started, whose idea was it. And he comes once more. Powerful push onto the offside. And I've gone through for one, coming back for two with the misfield. And that's a bonus run, I reckon, H. There should have only been one run there. I know that young Maury will be very disappointed. A for the 2 runs, and B's got Assad on strike once more. That one's over pitch, whacked on the onside, and that has split the gap. That has gone for the D-Max. No ball as well because of height, which means Assad is going to have what we call a free hit. I feel sorry for the spin bowlers for the over the hit, because I think it's bonus runs anyway, eh? So he whacks on the offside and misses. So what we was hoping for a double D-Max, it hasn't eventuated. So back onto task once more. One ball to go in this over. On the off stump, and Assad masterfully plays that through the covers, and they jog through for a single. That puts Assad back on strike, it might be time for a drinks break. So thanks everyone. We've got a game on our hands. 5 for 54 off 10, pushing towards 5.5 runs per over. That's going to be competitive if they can then up the ante in the second half of this innings. 10 overs to go, 5 wickets in hand, and a lot of entertainment on show. Thanks, H. The appropriate time to come back on with the worm that turned. We can see a slight upgrade in our worm. H and I get very excited with graphics. Pally and a nephew of mine have designed their own scoring app for the junior cricket competition here in PNG that we hope will take around the world. So part of that is not only getting the scores down, but looking at how the run rates and that change throughout an innings and graphing that in either worm graph, Manhattan graph, or in the case of what the app we've really focused on, other graphs. So we have a killer out there with his son, is that correct? Umbrella, keeping them cool. That is a classic photo. Can we get a shot of that? Can you take a screenshot of that, please? That's something we want to put on our website, hey? So you can see the Creo cricketers around the boundary line. These guys will be in action in 2 weeks' time when the international under-19 tournament's held here at Amini Park. They're going to be a big part of it with our own Creo cricket carnival happening simultaneously with the Asia Pacific championships we're having here in Port Moresby. So something to look forward to for everyone. Down C Tom, is that the right pronunciation? Yeah, D Tom coming in, right arm around the wicket to Assad Vala, who's sitting on 19 off 12.
And don't see he's the leading run scorer.
Yeah.
In our local competition.
Yeah. Dancy leading a run scorer in the Pari competition.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully his bowling matches. In he comes. A little bit quicker that one. Pushed on the onside and no run. Of course, husband of Tani, who works with the cricket development team here. A real quiet achiever in the office is young Tani. Great asset to cricket across the country. In comes Tom, outside the off stump, smack through the covers. A good coverage out there with a deep extra cover on the boundary line and only one run. And that puts Sigo Kelly on strike. Don't see Tom comes over the wicket to Sigo. The keeper up to the stumps. Punched hard to the covers, no run. You can see Downsy coming in once again. Rushes in on that kind. Big appeal for LBW. It trickles down to where Gully would be. And no run. Oh, they did jog through for a leg bye. That's marked as a leg bye. That must have been pretty close, H, I think. That must have been pretty close. Let's have a look at this one again. Very hard for us to see. I think that's an excellent decision. That was missing leg stump by quite a margin. It's interesting to see Assad batting out there without any labels on his bat. Hey, maybe after a sponsor. And he comes once more around the wicket. Tom made a big hit through the mid-wicket and he split the gap nearly. Oh, misfield deep. And they've doubled it up for 2 runs. Thought he'd nearly split the field there. Our Creo boy was getting excited out there, He thought he's going to get his first touch of the ball out there. And not let them creep in. Right arm around the wicket. Replay once again, in it comes, pushes that one to mid-wicket, no run, and that is over. Let's check 5 for 58, run rate sitting at 5, down over 12 runs there. That was over the 6 was hit, but it's been quite consistent apart from that. A lot of talk going out there between the two batters. With Kelly on strike, I'm sure Assad's telling him to keep his head. Don't forget you can hit 1s and 2s. I'm sure that's the discussion. We don't have to throw our wickets away. With 5 fielders out now in very strategic positions, you don't want another wicket to fall now with 9 overs in hand. Moria loosens up, right arm over the wicket, off breaks, gives that one a real tweak, in the air, and that is out. So Sigo Kelly goes for 3. Moria picks up his second wicket, 2 for 20 off 3, which are fine figures for an off-spin bowler in this form of the game. Oh dear, that's disappointing, but as we said, we've still got 4 wickets in hand, 9 overs to go, or 8.5 overs to go, and yeah, something we didn't really want to see. 6 for 58. Talking about D-Max H, we talked about Cricket Max, of course. This form of the game was really invented in New Zealand. Hopefully they get some credit over the years for this, because I know Martin and his brother Jeff Crow, 2 fine New Zealand cricketers, started D-Max back in the, I think it was in the 1990s, from 96 to about 2002 they had a competition running. 8 ball overs were bowled, each innings went for around about 8 overs. And you had 2 innings, sort of like a test match. So you'd bat once, then your team would go out, the next team would bat, then you'd come back in again. So the Crow brothers, fantastic cricketers, but also should get a lot of credit for this. They invented the free hit. They invented the 5 bowling mandatory bowlers having to bowl. So a lot of what's happening now out here at Amini Park was thanks to the Crow brothers. That one's pushed backward to a point and they rushed through for a single. Yes, one other rule they used to have, if you had 5 bowlers bowling, they had to have 1 spin bowler. And I think that was a wonderful rule, especially in the days where fast bowling was in every team. There was very few off-spinners bowling in first-class cricket back then. So the Crow brothers, I know we lost Martin a few years ago through a form of cancer, blood cancer, I think. And he comes once more, that one's onto the stumps and pushed into the mid-wicket region, and they jogged through for 1. So thank you to the Crow brothers there in New Zealand. I know Jeff's still around, he's about 67, 68 now, but a fabulous cricketer, so was his brother. Right arm over, Moria comes in. Punch back down the ground. Has that split the field? No, it hasn't. It's ended up at mid-on, and they've jogged through for another single. Score check, guys, 6 for 60 off 11.4. Run rate now 5.23 and climbing 8.2 overs. In he comes, right arm over. He's pushed that one through quicker. It's dropped short and pulled through the mid-wicket region for 1. So thank you to the Crow brothers. This is all of you. Of course, there's other people involved in the English style of this game too. And he comes once more. Short cut. And that's out to the cover region for 1 run. That, by my calculations, is the end of the picket fence over. That is 5 singles off that over with a wicket, and you would take that any day of the week. Welcome to Rugi into the commentary box now. He's going to be helping us out over the next few overs. He seems to be here, there and everywhere, Rugi, at the moment. Mr. Decano, our our manager of this, is the right word, operations manager for this tournament and on cricket for Cricket PNG. And he's been in this scenario himself. I'm sure when he was younger he would have loved to play the 2020 style of the game.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play a lot of T20 at this level. It came around just as I was winding down in my career, so I would have loved to play a few more shorter versions of this game.
Pass on to Rugi now for his commentary, guys. You'll enjoy this because, as he said, he's been out there, a Barramundi's captain, coach, and now administrator here with Cricket PNG. We had the pleasure of travelling to Goroka to do some promotional work up there with the teams in the other regions a few weeks ago. So over to Rugi now. He's going to be calling the next few overs in a very delicate part of the game.
Thank you, Tony. 8-6 for 64. The Mariners in the 13th over now. Assad Vala times it quite nicely onto the leg side for a single run. He's moved to 25 on the scoreboard for himself. Of 19 balls, doing it well as far as the strike is concerned. And Cassowaries is facing the ball. Third ball of the over. Oh, that's a wicket.
Scooped it back.
Scooped it back to the bowler, and was a very, very soft dismissal on this occasion. And it's 7 for 65. Cassowaries gone. As you can see in the replay, the soft dismissal. 7 for 65. Aruga bowling really well from the Rita Flynn caught end of the ground. He's taken 2 wickets for 11 runs. This is his third over and doing it well for his team, the Cassowaries, the undefeated team in the tournament, and they're going really well. They have Mariners 7 down for 65 in all sorts of trouble, Tony.
Yeah, big trouble now, hey? Big trouble, H. We just hope the tail can wag, Rugi, like it did in the previous game, that we get over 100 runs here or 110. So I know Assad would be talking to his incoming batsman and say, get me down the other end, let me do the work. Let me do the scoring, I think.
I think that has to be the plan for the Mariners now, making sure that Assad gets most of this strikes left or the balls remaining for them to score a total, a respectable total. 7 for 65. You have about little over 7 overs left in this innings. And Assad Vala is batting for the Mariners, and the new batsman is Michael Charlie. Comes to join Assad Vala at the crease. The team looking in all sorts of trouble here, and this will be a key partnership for the Mariners if they get some runs. Missed by the wicketkeeper, fumbled by the wicketkeeper. Gets across for a bye this time. As the umpire signals, it's a bye, and this will be the last ball of Aruga's third over. Looking really, really good with his spell of 3 overs so far. Taken 2 for 11 runs. Last ball, Assad Vala on strike. Push down the onside to the mid-wicket rigging and across for single. It's 7 for 67, beg your pardon, after 13 overs. Assad Vala looking strong at 26 of 20 balls, and Michael Charlie yet to score. I want to say thank you to Boroko Motors Limited for your support here, supporting Cricket PNG, supporting our Isuzu T20 Smash for 2026. Thank you for your support for the last few years, making sure that this game is played by representative players from around the country. New bowler introducing to the attack is George Terry, and it's a boundary. First up, a loosener dropped it shot, and Assad doesn't miss out on this occasion. Just hoisted up over the infield, away from the fielder, and races to the boundary. 4 runs for Assad Vala. He's now on 30 of 21 balls. Second ball from George Terry, up and over. That's a beautiful cricket shot, Tony.
That is 6 over covers.
It's a D-Max.
That's a D-Max.
D-Max again.
D-Max are the highest. That's a twin cab. That's a quadruple cab. That's a cover drive over the
That is a
6.
beautiful
Look at
cricket
that.
shot. Over covers, inside out shot.
And look at the little fella grabbing for the ball. He got it to the Creo boy. Grabbed that one. That is a ripper shot. Look at the wicket keeper. He's practicing the shot. Oh my
That's
goodness
10 runs
gracious.
10 runs in the last 2 balls, and
Yeah.
lifts the run rate up for the Mariners.
Right.
And Assad Vala has to keep on betting if his team needs to get
Decent.
a decent target from here.
Oh, really.
Punch on to the onside by Assad Vala again. Gets off strike. Mood takes his score to 37. And Michael Charlie comes on to face George Terry. 11 runs off this over so far. 3 balls ball. 3 balls remaining. And it will be looking like a big over for the Mariners.
Hang in there, Michael Charlie. Hang in there. Nothing silly.
Nothing silly, correct. Michael has to be very sensible here. He's got Assad batting with him. He can do a lot of damage to any bowler, Assad. And he needs to be batting the overside. Single run for Michael Charlie, bringing the score to 79 on the board. 2 balls from George Terry remaining in this over. Vala back on strike. Plays it nicely onto the leg side. Strolls across for a single. 80 runs on the board now. Michael Charlie back on strike. George Terry, last ball of his first over. Big shout out to our Lei Morobe province viewers. George Terry is representing the province. He's been selected to participate here in this Isuzu T20 Smash 2026 from the Lei Cricket Association competition. There is a bowling cut for the Cassowaries bowlers, and Assad Vala looking promising for the Mariners. He is on 38 of 24 balls. Michael Charlie on 1 run, and after 14 overs, the Mariners are 7 for 80 runs. Coming into the attack is Alei now, another experienced campaigner for the Paramount's team. He's now been brought onto the bowling attack by his captain to put some pressure back on the batters, as Assad is looking to be going stronger and stronger. First ball going onto the onside. 1 run there. Is good running between the wickets.
That's brilliant running between the wickets.
2 runs again for Assad Vala. Brings his score to 40 runs. 82 on the scoreboard for the Mariners. Ali now has taken 2 for 8 runs in his previous 2 overs. And will continue on with his 3rd over for the Cassowaries. Second ball, Vala on strike. looks like he has a lot of time to play the ball
It
onto the
does,
outside,
yeah.
Tony.
That's a
Assad-
sign of a good batter, isn't it? Hey?
He's a champion batter.
He's just looks so laconic in what he does. It's like it's
He makes it look
so
so
easy.
easy. Assad.
I looked up last night, I think the oldest test player in history was 54 years of age, so hopefully we can get 15 more years out of us.
Yeah.
How good that will
That'd
be.
be good.
Yeah.
We need to. We still need him to be around for a couple more years
Yeah.
for the Paramount's. He's still looking strong. He's still looking fit for his age. Then that's a good defensive shot by Michael Charlie,
He's doing a great job.
making
young
sure
man.
he doesn't do anything silly, because he needs to be, as a senior player, he needs to be supporting Assad Vala to see this remaining overs out. And if Assad plays the rest of the balls out, the Mariners will be looking at a very good total to defend. Alina football goes for a shot just outside of the off stump, a little bit outside of the off stump. Michael Charlie goes for a shot, didn't quite connect, and that's a dot ball again. Ooh, that looked
Pretty wide.
close to the edge. Fifth ball, Alina. Ooh, Assad's
Oh,
run out.
no.
What a way to lose your wicket.
No, H, no.
Wow.
That is a shocking way to go out.
Assad ran out on the non-strikers and backing up too far from the non-strikers, and the ball's been hit straight back, touched by the bowler, and he was caught outside of his crease, and that is a run out, as you can see. Wow, that is a terrible way to get out, especially when he was looking good for his team, and he goes out very unlucky for Assad. And well done to Alina. That was pitched back powerfully and put his fingers out.
And then knock the middle
Gets a
stump
touch,
out.
and Vala is gone.
That's
Well
a-
batted, Assad Vala on 40 runs. Unfortunate way to get out, but that's how it is. That's cricket. And it's 8 down for 83. 1 ball remaining in the 15th over. And Mr. Francis Ori is joining Michael Charlie at the crease. Last ball. Mickey plays it onto the leg side. Deep square leg fielder moves in to field the ball, and batsmen are happy for a single run. That's the over ball. 4 runs scored and a wicket taken, a prize wicket taken of Assad Vala. The Mariners are 8 for 84 after 15 overs. I want to say thank you to MJ Electricals, Nesfan, TPNG, Steel Industries, Pacifico Sports, Brian Bell, Pure Water, for supporting and being good friends of Cricket PNG, growing the game and developing the great game right across Papua New Guinea. Ball and change comes in. Warrior Robin from the Manuel of the cricket ground. 1 run with the first ball. Michael Charlie moves to 3 runs. Francis Ori comes on 2 strike. Francis is a very, very, very good cricket story. Francis hails from Gulf Province, Kerema in the Gulf Province. Learned his cricket in playing corporate cricket, Indo cricket, and he's now been selected to participate in the 2026 Isuzu T20 Smash, following a stint with the Konepoti Cricket Club in the Port Moresby Cricket Association after learning his game in Indo cricket, corporate Indo cricket, and is here at our national event and looks like having a good time, enjoying the challenges, enjoying cricket, and well done to everyone at Cricket PNG for spreading the game, finding talent around the place and bringing them here to showcase. Our friends from Gulf Province, cricket is the game for you. 8 for 86, Warrior Robin. His third ball, three runs so far. In his third over, he's taken 1 wicket for 16 runs. Francis Ori on strike. And then right, well outside of the off stump and outside of the wide line, and the umpire signals wide. That is an extra run for Mariners, bringing their total to 88. 3 balls remaining in the 16th over. Warrior football played on the leg side by Francis Ori. No run taken. Hit straight to the fielder. Dot ball again. Fifth ball, plays and miss. Another dot ball. Good pressure bowling from Warrior Robin. One ball to go off the 16th over.
A lot of that one.
Place onto the offside, down the dip point area for a single as the sweep fieldsman comes around to field the ball. Stops it from trying to get to the boundary. 8 down for 89 runs after 16 overs. Mariners keep pushing the score ahead. 24 balls remaining, 20.
24 balls to go.
If they get 24 of the remaining 24 balls,
We'll bring them
then
up.
they bring the score over 110.
113 runs. So that's wishful thinking, but H and I don't say anything now after what's happened in the other games. Every time we say something, it goes totally the opposite. So fingers crossed they can get a few. He looks like a wood chopper, this bloke, doesn't he, hey? Mr. Ori.
Mr. Ori.
Francis.
First ball, and well fielded by the cover fielder, Legasiaka. Donciton is brought onto the attack from the Ritterflin court end of the ground. This is his third over, he's bowled tightly, no wickets for 8 runs, and this is his third run. Third over, goes down the leg side, well taken by wicketkeeper Hilavare, but Francis Ori was safely at home. Umpire says not out. White ball still, an extra run for the Mariners. Dot ball again, plays and misses. 90 runs on the board. Francis Ori on 2, taking the strike. Michael Charlie on 4. 2 balls out to the left. Hit through the point region and it's going down the boundary, and that is a handy boundary for the Mariners as they push the score to 94 with the loss of 8 wickets. Francis Ori moves to 6, Michael Charlie on 4, Donsi for no wickets for 13 runs. This is his third over. Fourth ball, and I think it's been edged and it's racing down the ground. towards the boundary, and the batters are happy with 2 runs. Tried to steal another run on the throw, but Francis was rightfully sent Michael Charlie back. Settles for 2 runs, brings the score to 98. This is the 17th over. 2 ball widish, and he's been smacked to the boundary by Francisori. That is a handy boundary for the Marinas. Brings their score to 100 runs, and that is a good total. That is good defendable total if they get a few more from here on.
He's given that one the old heave-o, hasn't he?
He's a big heave.
Well, there's a bit of delicacy in that one.
And he's after 17 overs, Francisori on 11 and Michael Charlie on 4 runs. That's your Manhattan graph.
Yeah.
Showing the wicket, the run rates of each of the overs so far. 3 overs remaining in the Marinas innings. Just past 100 runs in the 17th over, and if they play out these 18 balls left, they will be able to post the total up to 120, which is a big total considering the low scoring games we've witnessed earlier. There is 1 run just pushed away from his body by Francisori, straight to the fielder, but a quick single taken. That is good running between the wicket, and brings Michael Charlie on the strike. Warrior Robin continuing for the Manuel. Gently played down the ground by Michael Charlie towards the dead man area, and the Marinas ticks their score just on to 103 runs on the scoreboard, turning out to be a handy partnership.
Yeah, very handy. Ooh, he leaves nothing to chance, this lad, does he? Or he's given it the old heave-o. It's our Creo song. Creo, way to go. Give him the old heave-o. It's like you said, Riggy, what have we got? We've got 15 odd deliveries to go. 1 run per delivery, we're up near 120, which is very defendable.
Slaps it onto the point region. Sweeper coming around to fill the ball. Single run. The scoreboard keeps ticking over. It's now 104 runs on the scoreboard. Continuing, goes for an LBW uphill, but the umpire is not interested, so it's not out. 1 ball to go in the 18th over. Michael Charlie on strike on 5 runs of 12 balls. 1 ball to go. Towards the 10th end. It's a good running between the wicket.
Excellent running
By Michael and Francis. Brings the score up to 106 after 18 overs. Francisori on 13, Michael Charlie on 7, and Tony, as we said, it's turning out to be a very handy, tricky partnership between Michael Charlie and Francisori. Tony, you mentioned Goroka earlier on, and we had a good time in Dorcas. We had the Regional Cricket Managers Conference, the Middlestar Conference, involving our Highlands Region officers and the Momase Region officers. And it was a good eye opener to get out there and see what the regional officers do, and it's quite encouraging to learn of their stories, how they go about their business up in their regions. And you had a good time.
It was a fabulous experience. Hello with Wizard as well. And yeah, we learnt a lot, they learnt a lot, and it was just good for cricket in PNG.
And that's clean ball. Francis Ori's innings come to an end. Bowled by Arugao. 13 runs of 13 balls. That's the 9th wicket for the Mariners with the score 107. A tricky but handy partnership comes to an end. Good bowling by Arugao, straight full stump to stump. Francis plays a shot, misses, and Arugao hits the wicket, takes his 3rd wicket for 13 runs and bowling his 4th and final over. Last batsman for the Mariners is Igor Morea, young under-19 player that played in the last year's East Asia Pacific region qualifiers for Papua New Guinea up in Japan. Full straight, defended by Igor Morea. Dot ball again. Arugao rushing things, trying to keep the pressure on the batter. This is his 3rd ball coming, and full straight, ably fended off by Igor Morea. No run again. Dot ball, 107 runs on the board. Igor Morea on strike, facing Arugao and placing onto the onside. Comes across for a single, and they're happy to settle for a single run. Score moves over to 108. Michael Charlie comes back onto the strike. Arugao to bowl his 5th ball of his last two balls remain. Michael Charlie on strike. Don't hit, but the ball doesn't travel too far from the batter. And dot ball again. Good bowling by Arugao. Death bowling by Arugao. Last ball, Mickey goes for a big shot. There's a man underneath the ball, and the wicket will be taken, and it's out. And that's the innings for the Mariners, Tony. All out for 108. 19 overs exactly to finish the innings, and Igor Morea remains not out on 1, and that's it for the Mariners. 108 runs on the board. Cassowaries to bat, and their target will be 109. That is good bowling performance by the Cassowaries, Tony.
Excellent bowling, steady all the way through, no big partnerships, and they had the bonus of the lucky run out, which really did change probably the final score by maybe 15 to 20 runs. So with Assad out unluckily run out, the rest of it, the tail did wag a bit, but not too significantly like the impact he would have had if he'd batted out those last 4 overs. So there it is. There's the batting lineup and the scorecard. 109 runs is the target, and that is achievable. Funny things have happened every game we've played, haven't they? It's just when you think it could be a stroll in the park, I don't think that will be the case. Riggy, what do you think? You know the bowling attack of the Mariners better than what we do.
They have a very good bowling
side
as well.
Yeah.
Ialigo Moria, Area Kilapet, Majala Surum, Michael Charlie, Assad Vala as well. So it won't be a walk in the park for the Cassowaries betters. So, and it's always tricky when you're trying to chase low targets. You tend to tense up.
Very much so.
The fear of failing comes into mind, and you start to do silly things.
It's the case. Most who won the toss in this series have chosen to bat first, haven't they, hey? Thank you to H. H is now going to put the highlights on, guys. We're going to have a 10-minute break and back for the run chase. 109 runs. It seems an easy task in the modern day of cricket, but as the great Rugi Dakana said before he left the box, he said, pressure. He said, it mounts up when you're batting second. It can be perceived pressure or good bowling pressure. It can be both. In this case, we think it will be both. Strong bowling attack coming up here. The Mariners bowl deep. They have variety. They have a little bit of pace, but they've got a lot of guile throughout the bowlers who are bowling. Then again, you've got the mighty Cassowaries going for back-to-back wins here in the Cup. What we do call the Cup, the Isuzu Barocco Motors Smash Trophy. So our opening batters winding up, getting ready, the umpire's making position, and within the next 4 or 5 minutes, guys, we'll have a game started. So thanks again to all our sponsors, our major sponsors throughout the country, throughout Port Moresby, throughout the Highlands, throughout Ray, throughout New Ireland, throughout New Britain. Our sponsorship helps cricket grow, and it helps present a new chapter in what we call the growth of the Cialis, also the growth of the Garamets, the junior teams, and in this case the senior teams. So all that great sponsorship is making this happen. So thank you. Sunday, March the 29th, about an hour and a half to go, and who will be crowned at the end of it? We have Varley and Terry opening the batting. And it'll be interesting to see who they chose to open the bowling. Our Creo squad of young players moving around the boundary line here to take up the positions. A new initiative, guys. You can see them in their Creo cricket hats and caps, and they'll be our boundary runners. Umpires down this end, the Bassini end, we have Timo Awala, and up the Manu end we have Alu Kappa. We have a lot of waving, a traditional field to start off with. Looking around, we have an outrider on the mid-wicket boundary, and also I think at third man, no, at deep mid-off. Just looking through our blurry vision here of our screen in front of us here, precariously placed on top of the container here at the Bassini end. Opening bowler will be Ori, coming in with his offies. Short, outside off stump and punched into the covers, no run. High looping action from the Kerama lad. He really enjoyed his batting. Hope he can bat it up with his bowling as well. Interesting choice. Right arm around the wicket. This time a bit short again, and our deep outrider there picks it up and contains it to 1 run. Let's get Varley off the mark, and our right-hander Terry is now on strike. George Terry open stance. Rankiori comes around the wicket. Now he's back over the wicket to the right-hander, angling the ball in, and hopefully being able to curtail any 4s or 6s in this first power play of 6 overs. That'll be his ambition. Brave move from the captain here, Vala, to open with the off-spin bowler. Let's see how he goes. Loops, pushes, out. We're repeating ourselves a bit, but Tin Payne, the Australian captain, was up here a few months ago, probably 6 months now to tell you the truth, even longer. And he's a great advocate for having a lot of spin bowlers in your 2020 side. Once more, this is over pitch this time, pushed out onto the onside. No run. So he's bowled a bit of a mixed bag already, H. 4 deliveries, he's looping them up, he's pushing one through, he's been over the wicket, round the wicket. He's not letting the batters settle. What will this one be? Ori in from the Manu end. Inside it, and that's called a wide. And it brings the score on to 2. Wickets will be important in this innings. 109, the tally you're chasing. It's not a big tour, not a big task, but Wickets will be important early, especially. Ori in. One short outside the off stump. That's a poor delivery, but lucky for him, punch to the covers and no run. That's a bonus. It should have gone for 4H. I think you and I would have been licking our lips with that one. It's one of Boyo's specials, isn't it? One of Boy's specials. He was short outside the off stump. Inning runs. Ori, come in. Bowls, that's a better line, that's a better length, there's a bit of twang in that one, and push carefully back to the bowler for no run. A solid start by Ori, none for 2 off the first over. Vala on 1, Terry yet to get off the mark. Chasing 109, you can be very settled in the way you approach the first few overs. Here's our batting order for the Cassowaries, guys. They do bat deep. Have a look. Tori coming in at number 8. That's a strong batting lineup. Charlie. Charlie's coming on, I think, H. You can tell by the head of hair, can't you, hey? He's coming on from the Bassini end. So well done for Assad, having brave decision of opening with an off-spin bowler. It's worked. 1 for 2, you'll take that for sure. In comes Charlie. Oh, that one's cut back into the left-hander and played very respectfully back to the cover fieldsman there, the short cover fieldsman. Michael Charlie from Kira Kira. I wonder if he knows the Fowlers at all, Coach. I wonder if he knows the Fowlers. Bet you he does. He'll claim to be a cousin or an uncle or something like that. In comes Michael. Aggressive approach there from young Vara. He's taken a step down the wicket. I think he's seen him coming. Michael's seen him coming, pushed it outside the off stump and dot ball. Dot ball. Still shot of the day for me today. There's a lot being made in the first game, but Assad's cover drive that went for 6 was one of the highlights for me. H and I just sat back and said, wow, wish we could do that. In comes Michael. Rolls his fingers on that one, tucked around the corner, and they scurry through for 1. Well backed up by the non-striker, and a safe run. H and I never had a chance to chat about who we thought were favourites this game, but looking at the figures, guys, you would think this would be quite easy for the Cassowaries, though. I think this first 6 overs is going to set the tune if they can dig into their batting lineup with 1 or 2 or maybe 3 wickets, and the game will open up. But at this stage, it's looking quite comfortable. They know they don't have to do anything silly chasing 109. So Michael once more, and he's got another thing to say about that. That one's a windy woof outside off stump. George Terry, very open stance, a bit like Chandival from the West Indies age. Shows us all 3 stumps, and that's a good decision by the umpire. With the way he's standing outside leg stump, he needs to get closer to the stumps to play a legitimate cricket shot, in my opinion. So that's an excellent non-call by the umpire. That is not a wide. Might look like one, but have a look at his stance. Once again, Terry faces up. Charlie in. Air blowing in the wind. One's full pitch, driven into the point region. Thickish outside edge, I'd say. H, no run, and we have 1 run on the board. Thanks again, guys. We're back here. Those just tuning in, we're always thanking our friends at Barocco Motors Limited. The Isuzu Smash is their baby. They've helped us out, but we have lots of other people help Cricket PNG. Pure water, what a drink that is. The best water in PNG by a streak, and the most glamorous bottles as well. I know as a science teacher we use pure water in our science lab there at Alamurray, and I used to recycle the bottles for about 101 purposes, never wasted anything. So I know that we've thanked them a lot of times throughout the day. Not only beautiful water but great sponsors for Cricket PNG. Here comes Ori, right arm around the wicket. This one's over, pits a reverse sweep, big pier for LBW. I think that would have missed by the proverbial foot, and umpire Kappa just tapping the leg gracefully as he goes back to his position, shakes his head and said, no, that's not out. Ori over the wicket to the right hander, Terry on strike. This will be interesting. There's one of our friendly puppies from the cluster of puppies we have here at PNG, Cricket PNG HQ, strutters across the ground. I told you it would be interesting. He's danced down the wicket and they jog through for an easy run. As Ori just keeps the fielder on his toes and says, settle down fella, nothing silly, no overthrows. Definite plan in his actions here. To the left-hander he comes, right arm around the wicket, angling the ball in, clamping up their chances to loosen the arms. It's on the off stump this time, punched, and it's through the field. A hand to it, but I don't think it'll actually get to the fence. It doesn't. Picked up, and they jog through for an easy 2. Score checked up to 7. Vare now 4 from 7 deliveries. 2.3 overs, none for 7 as Ori comes in. Going on the back foot this time, and that's been shellacked down to the fence for 4. First really bad delivery. Olaf, beautiful shot from Vare there. Wicket keeper batter, represented the Barras. H is nodding there. Had a great day behind the stumps today too, but that's poor delivery. He's just tagged that one down. This one is a leg on the leg side once again. It's gone for the sweep shot, and that was going to miss leg stump. So another good decision by the umpire. Ori, last ball of the over, comes in. A bit quicker this time, pushed on to the backward point region, and that is well run. The old adage, if you run straight away, if it's wide of the fielder, you'll get there most of the time. So let's just look at the partnership so far. This opening partnership of 12 runs, dominated by Vare, but he's had most of the strikes, so it's a good start. Run rate at the moment is 4. We know they've got to get up to 5.71, so that's not a big issue. Target 109, and by my calculations that brings it to around about 97 runs required. 3 overs down, that's almost 17 overs. A few adjustments to the trousers out there. Hates getting the thigh pad in place, making it comfortable for them. Assad Vala to bowl his first over. A swing out on the onside there, and it's an easy run to Vare, which brings Terry on strike. A good move, Assad bringing himself on. He realises now in the 4th over that wickets are vital, and he's the one to maybe supply those. He's bringing himself over the wicket to the left-hander, around the wicket to the right-hander. Said the unlucky run out of Assad at around about the 15-16 over mark really did change the tone of this game. So the right-hander is coming over the wicket. Everything adjusted now. Terry on strike. Drives into the short cover region, the run. Talked about perceived pressure. I'm sure there's some out there with the batters at the moment. Got to get this man away. He can dominate. Have a look at the field. He's set 5, in the inner ring. 5 fielders in the inner ring on the offside. And you know he can deliver here. You can know he can bowl 6 deliveries that are going to really pressure. That one's out again. They got to run, but it's all under pressure for the batters with him bowling. Assad comes right arm around the wicket to the lefty, angling the ball in, and he's kept that same field on the offside. He's got 5 fielders on the offside, pushed on the onside, an easy run. We said this at the start, having a left-hand, right-hander combination. Oh, that's pushed on the onside, no run there. Assad's first over 3 runs off that. He's got none for 3 of 6 deliveries. Score check, none for 15 of 4. Vala on 11, Terry on 2, run rate 3.75. That will climb. Comparative worms now. We can see that the conservative start of the Cassowaries is made because they know they've only got 109 runs to chase. These players, they seem hard to get themselves comfortable in the clothing they're wearing. Maybe they're wearing someone else's thigh pad or something, but he's been fidgeting with his clothes since he got out there, mate. You're gonna make sure you get stuff that fits you, hey? Moria coming in for his first over, left arm over, am I right, H? There's a few Morias. They're flicking the ball into his hand, one to the other. And this will be interesting. Left, let's change down lines. Now he wants a cap. Tell you what, they have a timeout rule, don't they? It's one of the rules. When we were up in Goroka, guys, we had a competition to see you could pick out all the ways you could go out in cricket, and being timed out is one, but that's only if you're the incoming batsman, not if you're a guy looking for a helmet. So he's changed his mind abruptly there and said, right, this guy's a little bit swift, let's put the helmet on. Left arm over the wicket, first delivery. Pushed down onto the onside, quick single, and they've got a misfield there and they've gone back for 2. Welcome to Rugi back into the commentary box. He's going to do his share. I'll share a bit of the commentary here.
Last game of the tournament. It's been rain affected, but we managed to get to the grand final day. Cassowaries versus the Mariners. And that is good running between the wicket. Ilavare pulled it onto the leg side, away from the fielder, and gets 2 quick runs. With brilliant running between the wicket efforts. These 2. Igo Puka coming from the Manuen, placing the off spinner from Sayman, bringing on it quick, and that's dot ball again for Igor Puka. No, 4 runs so far. It's over. Ilavare on 15. George Sterry, our friend from Lake Cricket Association, opening the innings with Ilavare on 2 runs, 19 on the scoreboard, 4th ball of the 4th over. Well led by Ilavare, playing sensibly now, not rushing or not trying to force the issue here, Tony.
No, there's no need to. H and I discussed that, Rugi, that they're batting very sensibly. None for 19 or 4.4, you would take that at the start. Wickets in hand are the key here now, aren't they, hey?
Correct. Building partnership,
Yeah.
working the ball around, picking the right balls to score the boundary source. And George Terry backing up a bit too far. was sent back by Hilavare. No damages done. 3 dot balls.
Bit,
4 runs so far.
bit nervous out there batting with George at the moment. He seems very edgy out there. He's fidgety. It's a bit like Stephen Smith, always fidgeting with his pads or his box or his thigh pad. He's a bit nervous, I think. Not sure.
Play on to the leg side. Mistimed. Down to the short fine leg region. Goes across for single. That's the end of the over from Igor Moria. 5th over. The Cassowaries are none for 20 runs. Hilavare 16, George Terry on 2. Bowling change from the Rita Flynn caught end of the ground, and it will be Awe Oru coming in to replace Michael Charlie from the Rita Flynn caught end of the ground. Hilavare on strike, he's steadily building his innings. He's on 16 runs of 18 balls.
Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot, Tony. Correct. Through the fielders for another handy 2 runs for the Cassowaries. Hilavare moves to 18 runs of 19 balls. Again, George Terry backing up too far. Second Hilavare. There was no need to force the run. They would have been in trouble if they had, but just as well, Hila was staying calm and sent George Terry back. No run dot ball.
Would have been suicide from the rookie if he got through with that one. Ooh,
A
that's
slower
good.
delivery from Awe Oru, sorry, beg your pardon. Awe Oru bowler. Slow ball.
He didn't call it a no ball though. It must have been not over hip high, hey?
Hila was a bit done by the slow pace of the
Yeah.
ball, didn't quite time it.
Short down the leg side, call a wide that time, Ricky. And that's a good call again. The umpire's doing a fine job. They haven't.
Yeah, they've been
made-
very good, the umpires.
Excellent. Haven't made a
Tony, to be
mistake.
honest.
So
They've managed the matches quite well.
yeah,
Their additions have been consistent,
yeah,
especially with the wide calls.
yeah, definitely.
Everything's been consistently called on the
Yeah.
left side and even on the offside. And that's a close one there. No, says the umpire, safely home. Let's go run in between the wickets again. 1 run. Scoreboard ticking. None for 24.
Ooh, not
The
fair.
Cassowaries on their way to the target of the Mariners. 105
Nine.
runs. 109
9
runs.
runs.
109 runs to win. And none for 24. This is the last power play over, 6th over, 2 balls remaining. George Terry
Mm.
and tries to hit the ball and run at the same time straight to the fielder. And now Hilavare is having a word with him to calm him down a bit.
I agree, Ricky. I think he's having a lot of words with him out here. Yeah, tell him just to keep a lid on it, just keep settled. We're doing okay. We're at 4.11. That's all we need to do at this stage. So don't want to run out.
Now Hila is trying to back up,
Mm.
but he's doing it sensibly.
Yeah.
Being on his toes, nothing silly. That's the overs, no wickets for 24 runs. Cassowaries played also 6 overs, and the umpire is now signaling second power play. And from the overs 7th to the 20th, the second power play overs, which means the fielding side can put outside the inner circle up to 5 players, maximum 5 players outside the inner circle to protect their boundaries if they need to. So the first power play overs are from the first over 1 to the 6th over, where you are only allowed 2 fielders outside of the inner circle. So that's the rules of T20 cricket. First power play, first 6 overs are compulsory power play overs, and from the 7th to the 20th over the second power play overs, where field restrictions are changed. So Hilavari on strike. Francis Ori is brought back into the attack, and it's been hit down the leg side by Hilavari, and 2 more runs to the Cassowaries scoreboard. They are now none for 26 runs. First ball of the 7th over, bowled by Francis Ori. Hila on strike. Francis moves in. Drop shit shot, slap onto the offside bar again, down to the deep point area, safely for a single. The deep point fieldsman retains the ball. Another single run for Cassowaries, ticking the scoreboard over, none for 27. George Terry gets strike after the single. He's doing a good job, not playing many shots. He's making sure he is supporting Hilavari as he walks down the ground, and he is gone. Just as we were saying, he was doing a good job, and does a silly thing straight up, runs out, misses the ball, and gets stumped by wicketkeeper. That's the end of George Terry. 2 for 15, 2 runs in 15 balls. The Cassowaries are 1 for 27 in the middle of the 7th over. Francis Ori gets his first wicket, 1 wicket for 13 runs, bowling his 3rd over. Hilavari remains not out on 22, and incoming batsman is Don Chitong. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I think
More
that's.
wickets by the
He wasn't doing much damage though, was he? We'll see how Dancy goes. I think he'll be more positive running when he's out there. He's very quick between the wickets. And, I can see another partnership developing here. What do you think? 6.3, 1 for 27. Another wicket now will make it interesting, hey?
Yeah, the wickets are key with long target. Wickets are key that keeps building the pressure.
Exactly, and we mentioned that when you're out about perceived pressure and real pressure from excellent bowling. There's two different avenues, isn't there? At the moment the bowling's okay, but can they contain these two?
Slap to the offside point area, straight to fielder, no run. 2 more balls from Francis Ori. Don't on strike. Mariners are making things hard for the Cassowaries batters. 1 for 27. This is the 7th over. And again, straight into the gap, down to the point area. Another single for Don Chitong. He gets off strike, and away with 1 run. Hilavari on strike. Last ball for Francis Ori, 1 for 14. This is his 3rd over. And it's straight through.
French cut, I think.
It's going to be tight. And just as well, back, and
He's called buys, I think, as Irugi.
it's called buys by
Yeah.
the umpire, correct, Tony. And that's the over ball. The Cassowaries are 1 for 29, 7 overs gone. Hilawaria 20 dash 2026 for Cricket PNG. Thank you for your ongoing support to this wonderful tournament where the talent from around the country are all brought in together, put into 4 teams and play in this tournament. There's a lot at stake in this tournament. There's people, players showcasing their talent, selectors, the coaches are watching closely the performance of every individuals that are participating in this tournament. Captain Assad Vala is now brought onto the bowling attack. First ball goes for a single, punch down the mid-on region by Hilawaria. TT score of 23. Cassowaries 30 for 1 wicket down. Again, punch through the offside region to the cover region. Another run by Donty Tom. He moves to 2 runs of 3 balls. Hilawaria gets on strike. 10 ball from Assad Vala. Hit down the square leg region by Hilawaria again. That is good bowling and good batting by the players out there. Assad keeping things tight there. Batters just taking singles, playing the right balls with right shots, not forcing anything silly here at this stage. The Cassowaries, and if they bet that 20 hours out, they will be able to secure this match and win it. Straight into the gap by Donty Tom. Hit to the cover area and 1 run for Donty Tom again. 1 ball to go. Assad Vala's second over. He's taken no wickets for 7 runs so far. Hilawaria on strike. Last ball and tries to guide it down to the offside, but hits his pad. No interest to run, and that is the over ball. The Cassowaries are 1 for 33 runs of 8 overs, and things are looking balanced here, Tony.
Yeah. 4.13, they need to get to a run rate of 6.33, so they're going to have to hit a few 4s. They just can't hit the 1s and 2s. They've got to get a bit of a wriggle on, but I think they've worked the equation out pretty well. I think they can start to accelerate around about the 12-13 over mark. So it's going to be an interesting thing for Assad to move his bowlers around to keep the pressure on. I think he's got Oru coming in there. He's got none for 4 off his 1 over. So he's mixing up the bowlers, isn't he?
He's doing that, Tony. You've picked it up quite well. And I think it's just Assad is trying to unsettle the batters as they are quite doing it in a comfortable fashion.
Yeah.
At 33 runs after 8 overs, Assad is now looking for chances. He's not waiting for chances to come. He's trying to create chances for his team, keeping the pressure on, keeping the bowling changes constantly. Over by over, and then his good captaincy, and then his good cricket all round.
Yeah.
Batsmen doing well. Captain Assad Vala trying his best, and bowlers running in. And that's going to be tight. Oh, that was
I think he'd nearly given up on that one, hadn't he?
Gone for all money.
I agree. I agree. Needed a direct hit, but
they needed a direct hit.
Yeah.
Misses, and Donty Tom survives.
Let's have a look. Picks up, throws. Yeah, he was gone, I think.
He was gone. 1 run, nevertheless. And
He
been
bowled him.
bowled.
It's
Hila's
bowled
been
him, H.
bowled.
It's
Well
bowled him.
done, away. Hit on top to the stumps. That's the end of Hiller as he was looking
Away.
dangerous on 24 runs. Clean bowl by Awe Oru, taking his first wicket in his second over.
That was a lovely delivery, mate. Did he get an edge onto that, H, do you
I
think?
think he played it on.
Yeah, I think he got a little under edge onto that. That's a vital wicket, hey?
It's a big wicket.
Vala out. Now it's two basically new batters at the strike. On the, oh, that's a nice nut. That's a nice nut. That's why we're not making predictions every time we do.
No.
A wicket falls or a six is hit at the game.
We've been putting on the commentator's cast on everybody.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Thanks to Isuzu, we've actually got some Japanese mushrooms for H to try here.
Oh.
We were told he would eat anything, but we have some Japanese shiitake mushrooms to celebrate the Isuzu Big Batch Smash here. We're going to see what they taste like, guys. They look alright. H has got one. Riggy's saying I've got to call this next delivery.
He's going to be gaining extra weight by the time we complete this tournament. You've been fitting in too well up here.
We just wrapped Riggy. There were no ants invading this time. Last time we got the button-up snaps out.
There's nothing to rate. He's just getting through everything.
He's eating it quickly, that's right.
The Reds have nothing to rate.
Oh.
The height was a worry to me, I reckon. And umpire says not out. First ball, new batsman is Legacy Aka. Lega is the leading run scorer of the tournament so far. He's been going really well, leading from the front for Cassowaries. And one of the reasons why Cassowaries have remained undefeated was powerful batting from Legacy Aka, leading from the front. He scored 116 runs so far in 3 hits.
In other words, if they can get Lega out there, they're in with a big chance. Riggy's being brave. He's trying the Japanese shiitake mushrooms here. A little bit of chili, but not too bad. H, what do you reckon? H has gone for the drink. Once more, Oro in. Peel for LBW again. A shake of the head.
Bit of pressure here.
Yeah.
Onto Lega, trying to play it every ball, trying to score every ball. That looked close.
That was close, I'd say. But look where the wicket keeper is. He's sort of moved down the leg side, so that indicates he might be moving the ball in a little bit. Good cricket. This is a great over.
We were 1 over from and a wicket.
Yeah.
2 for 34 after 9 overs. 2 new batsmen in. The 2 were back in the shed. That leaves Legacy Aka and Johnstone to do it for their team, Cassowaries.
Frank coming down from the Manu end, from the Bassini end now.
Captain Assad Vala keeps changing up his bowling options. That is good captaincy from Assad. Francisori comes from the Rita Flynn and off the ground. He's taken 1 for 14 and this is his last over. Tony.
This is it. Can he get another wicket?
That is through the gap and 2 runs for Cassowaries, bringing their score to 36. Johnstone on 4 runs, on strike now. The Legacy guy is yet to score on a non-striker side. That ball, Francisori comes in, pushes it down the leg side. and it's rightfully called one. The Cassowaries 2 for 37 now. Don't strike. And slept through the gap again by Don onto the offside down to the deep point area. Another single run. 2 for 38. 9.3 overs.
Pushing into the break, Rugi, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. So 3 more dot balls here. It'll be an interesting equation. Upish. With the one.
Punched down the ground by Legacy for 1 run. 2 balls to go in Francis last over. He's taken 1 for 19 so far. Has been going really well with the ball for his team. Got the man of the match in the last game.
That's close.
That is close. Probably going down to the leg side.
I agree.
Says the umpire, and that's not out. That's the over ball from Francis. That's his 4 overs. Well done, Francis. He's bowled tightly.
Yeah.
1 for 19 of 4 overs. That's his 4 overs. And that's Marina Cassowaries are 2 for 39 after 10 overs. And we will be having a technical drinks break on the field as the players gather around with their coaches and their captains to plan out their last remaining overs, and the game is in the balance. Join us shortly after a 10-minute break.
Thanks, Rugi. Thanks. Dutch. Worm tells a story, doesn't it? Hey, the story is our Mariners set the task.
And our Creo kids are having a good time on the ground, Tony.
We've mentioned them a few times. They're all trying to count how many times they get to touch the ball. So they've had good competitions going there. Don't they look wonderful in their Creo shirts and matching white hats? We've got a massive carnival coming up here over just after the Easter break, and we'll be seeing a lot more of Creo cricket played at Amini Park in the next fortnight or so. So get down here when the international tournament's on, and you'll be able to see the Creo kids from all around Port Moresby showing their skill sets here at the home of cricket.
Last 10 overs, Tony,
Yeah.
for a grand final match. 2 for 39, Cassowaries after 10 overs. Legaciaca on 1 run, Don on 7 runs. Assad Vala changing and swapping his bowlers smartly, making the batsmen to constantly under pressure.
Yeah, it's difficult when you've got a different bowler each over and you just can't settle in, can you? Eh? I suppose it's hard for the bowlers too, but in this case it's difficult for the batters to get into some sort of rhythm with their batting. We're smiling because we can see Kwanaki walking around with a box of pure water, the only water you should be drinking here at Amini Park, and making sure our Creo kids are well hydrated. In comes Charlie, right arm over the wicket, pushed down backward of point or just out to the point region. They scurry through for one. I think the discussion, Rugi, at the drinks break would have been let's start rotating the stride a bit more. The field's out. Let's push the ones. Get the clock ticking over. Get the runs ticking over. So it's not a chase of 20 runs off the last 2 overs, which could be really, really difficult.
I think that's the way to go for the Cassowaries to win this game.
Yeah.
Picking the right balls to score the big runs off and protect the wicket when the good balls are ball. And that is the way they're doing it. Straight through the infield, misfield there, and safely across for 1 run. Lega is a powerful runner between the wickets. He can make it look very, very easy, trying to get quick runs between the wickets. Michael Charlie back on the attack, bowling from man of the park. 2 balls so far, 2 runs. 3rd ball straight to the cover fieldsman. Legacy account strike. Good balanced game on our hand, Tony.
Figured it out, hasn't it? Eh? This morning's game was close, and this one looks like it's going to be the same.
Balls on the leg side. Glance down to the square leg region, and there's overthrows and more runs for Legacy Aka as the ball has been overthrown. Extra runs. 2 for 43. 2 balls to go in the 11th over.
66 to win off 56 balls. The equation's getting closer, isn't it, hey? To 1 run per ball. That's what they'll be aiming for. 8 wickets in hand. They've got the upper hand now.
Well, away from the fieldsman, and it's been misfield as well down at the boundary line, and Legas scores his first boundary of his innings, bringing his score to 8 runs. The Cassowaries are 47 on the board with the loss of 2 wickets, 1 ball to go in the 11th over. That was poor piece of fielding there, not quite getting down to the ball, trying to kick it, not advisable from coaches. As silly things can happen, you just don't
With your foot.
with your leg,
Yeah, true.
and you get stuck on it and sprain everything on the ankle side of the leg.
Is Kwanaki doing laps of the oval with the water box in hand?
Well done, Q. Keeping the
Keep well done, Q. You just want to be on television, that's all.
Creo kids
Hydrated.
hydrated. Well done, Q. Assad Vala. There you go.
There's Q.
Give us a wave, Q.
Q. Going, how many laps have I done today? Saying hello to everyone. Assad's back on. Assad Vala, number
Vala is
7.
back on.
Crucial. What's he bowled? 2 overs. Will he bowl himself out? I don't think he will.
The full toss
Yeah.
first up, and that is above the waist height, and the umpires rightfully signals no ball, and that will be a free hit with the umpire waving his hands above his head.
He's doing his lasso cowboy dance, I think. There's a bit of boot scooting there.
Free hit for Legacy Aka. It goes hard straight down the ground. There's a fieldsman out in the deep end, and good run in between the wickets by Legasiaka and Donty Tom. That was tight. Probably a direct hit would have been interesting, Tony.
Yes, would have been crowd pleaser for HNO. We've been talking about the only way she could go out of a free hit, and that'd be one of the two run out. So
Correct.
that would have been exciting.
Nicely played onto the leg side. Alexia. Single again. Scores now 52 on the board. 11.2 overs. Donty Tom on strike. Last week it went for 34 runs when the scoreboard was 34 runs. It's now 52. So plenty runs from these two, Lega and Donsi. Dot ball against, played straight to the point fielder, and no run on this occasion. Vala, fourth ball. Donsi goes hard. Hit through the mid-on region, and the deep mid-on fielder moves in to field the ball and returns it back to the bowler, and that brings Legasiaka onto the strike. 2 balls off Assad Vala's third over. Straight to the bowler. Legasiaka, no run. Well fielded by Assad. Off his own bowling. Last ball. Siaka on strike. Defended safely. Defensive shot. Over ball, dot ball. It's 2 for 53 after 12 overs. Cassowaries still netting 56 runs of 48 balls, and the WAM graph is indicating the Mariners were a touch above the Cassowaries at the same stage of their innings. 2 for 53. Igor Morea is going to be reintroduced into the attack by his captain Assad Vala. Tony, like we said, he strategically swapping and changing his bowlers to make sure the batters are not settled in. Well done, Tony.
Thank
Gonna
you,
be out
Rugi.
shortly.
Rugi's going to have a breaky, guys. He's got a lot of work to do when this game finishes, I'm sure. So down to the business end here with only a few overs to go. Moria coming in and bowling to Tom. Tucked away behind square leg for 2. And thanks again to Riggy for his insightful comments and commentary. H and I are getting a little bit tense here. It's not the cold of the air conditioner blowing against our backs. It's the fact that we have a game on our hands still. Whenever you see a runs greater than the balls remaining, you always know you've got a game on your hands. So hopefully it goes down to the wire. Moria in, a swing and a miss is precious. Moria scurries his way back. We know we have time limits in this game as well. We don't have any time disadvantages. Let's go. Let's make it a close finish. This Isuzu tournament deserves one more turn of the worm, one more, what would you call it, H? One more chapter in a story that's been an epic for the last few days. Chance for a run out, that's a chance, it's a call. And the umpire just shakes his head and that's not out. Oh, H. If that had been out, have a look at this one again, just watch. So it's a push on the offside, a yes or no await, a fumble, gathered. And tell you what, there wasn't a lot in it, but again, the umpire was in perfect position, in the right place to make the right call at the right time. So, well done again to Alu Kappa. You haven't put a foot wrong today, so well done, mate. Congratulations. I'm very proud of the efforts today. In comes Molia. Right arm medium pace. Left arm over the wicket. Pushes to the offside to point position, no run. Left arm medium. One thing we don't overlook are wickets in hand, but the other aspect is with so few overs to go, it is difficult to come in and hit runs from the start. So now these two are settled, they've got a big job on hands to get close to that target. Left arm outside the off stump and cut through to the forward point and out to that boundary rider out there who's doing a fabulous job. Has eaten everything over the last 2 days, but he refuses to touch those Japanese shiitake mushrooms, and I do not blame him. Boy, yours don't have them when we get rooms. In comes Moria. Just trying to be, mixed with the theme of Isuzu and Barocco Motors and their wonderful Japanese cars, but I failed miserably. I'm going to go and get H some Japanese curry or some sushi. That'd be a much better option next time. They're definitely going to boy though. Oh my god. They look like little sheepy poops, don't they? Boy would eat anything, I'm sure. I don't know how vegans do it, mate, when they eat that stuff all the time. I'm not sure how they do it. A very bad choice. They weren't cheap either, H. I'd save those for boys' Kris Kringle present this year, mate, I think. Stick them under the Christmas tree. Can we reseal them? Oro coming in from the Vicinian. H has sealed the bag and thrown it away. 2 for 52 off, 2 for 57 off 13. Balls remaining 42 wickets. In hand 8, and of course runs to win 52 of those 42 deliveries. Oh, that is hit up for length. What is that hit, H? That is a brute of a delivery. Ori, where did you? I think the umpire's looking down at the pitch saying, where did that come from? I don't think a warning's been given. I don't think a no ball's been given. Let's have a look at this again, H. Oh, it's jumped off a length, hit his glove. There's a chance. But boy, a Lincoln toy. That was a brute of a delivery. In one run. It's funny, in the last two games we've called, H, it's the only one that's done something really, really brutal, isn't it, hey? There definitely weren't any cracks out there. The luck of the game, that could have quite easily gone through to the keeper and a catch. Oru's decided to come around the wicket. The boy from Parry. This time punched on the offside to point, a slight fumble, but couldn't stop the run. Notice Siaka going down the pitch and tapping that spot the ball hit. He's saying, where did that come from? But, for the bowler's sake, he might want to hit that spot once again, H. In he comes, Oru. Full pitch delivery, nearly a Yorker, gets a hand to it but can't stop the run, unfortunately for him. And they've scuffled through for one more part of the picket fence that's starting to develop in this over. Assad barking orders to his fielders, telling me exactly where to stand for the left-hander. We have a mid-wicket, a deep mid-on, a deep backward square leg, a deep forward square leg on the boundary, and a fine leg as well. So a strong onside field for the right-arm bowler coming around the wicket, covering anything, so he might stray onto the stumps. Here he goes, Full pitch on the off stump, punch to point, a slight misfield, and they scurry through for a run. Did they double that one up there with the second run after that fumble, so did he get two? Scurrying through very quickly there. Left-hander on strike once more. Iru around the wicket. Again, pitch, the offside, a chance for a catch. He hasn't, it's gone over his head, and unfortunately, I think he might have got a hand to that one, H. H isn't sure, we need to have a look at the replay there. But it seemed to slow up quite significantly after it went over the bowler's, about our fielder's head, so we're not quite sure. We're pretty sure it didn't go for four. Let's have a look. Slightly roll the fingers on that one. Slower ball. Up he goes. Very difficult to see whether he touched it, but he does look disappointed. And the fact that the ball slowed up significantly. Was it 4 runs, H? Or 2? Looks like a 2. For luck. That's once more. Right arm around the wicket. Swing and a miss outside the off stump, and that is over. We have 7 runs off the over, 2 for 64 off 14, and here's our scorecard to this day, to this part of the proceedings. You can see there 2 for 62, significant. We still have 8 wickets in hand, but with only 6 overs to go, hopefully these two, for the sake of the for the sake of the Cassowaries, can get them over the line. H, do you have any affiliation with either team? One you're closest to in terms of this competition, or you've got Purry boys throughout each of the teams, so you don't have a team you barrack for in this comp? I suppose as an officiator you're not allowed to, are you? All I know is that when they picked the teams, they did a good job. They've been quite even. My other question we've received from the public too, H, is do the teams sort of stay the same one year after the other, or a core group of players who play Cassowaries every year, or they vary significantly? It's just a name, is it? It's not an institution, so that's why I find it hard, the big bash in Australia, that players swap from state to state instead of playing New South Wales against South Australia, and that they play for different states. It's confusing. In comes Moria, left arm pushed back past the bowler, 1 easy run, nothing silly, keep it tight. So my point is, H, it's not a franchise situation, is it? It's a fluid situation each year. I suppose the selectors too have to make sure there's an even balance of players in each team too, so it is competitive. And I tell you what, they've done a grand job, because each team, any team could have played in this grand final and been competitive, so that shows you they've done a fantastic job choosing the squads. Left down over, and here comes once more a swing to point. Again, casually taken, and we have a wicket at last. Does that change things up for you, H? We can see that Tom's out for 17, slashing on the offside, but it means a new batter's coming to the crease, and at 14.2 overs and still a fair few runs to get, that's a nice catch there. He's gobbled that one up because it was travelling. So Tom out for a well-made 17. Let's have a look once more. Shorty outside, or on off stump, put him up into that backward point position. It's gone pretty quickly and taken very neatly. Very neatly. So Torre's the incoming batter. And he knows he's still got a bit of work to do. Vala Torre. "44 runs to win, 34 balls remaining, 7 wickets in hand. We still have a game on our hands." H and I concentrating now. We don't want to make a mistake. In he comes. A swing and a miss, and down to third man for one. Swing and a clip. I thought he'd miss that one. It's hard to see with a blurry screen here. But that good thing about that, it brings Siaka onto strike with still 3 balls to go in this over. My theory is Torres come out to do a bit of pinch hitting here, H, to see if they can up the run rate and make sure it's not close at the end. Morier's got something else to say about that. Slower ball, strays onto leg stump, and there'll be an easy 2 runs as they jog back for 2. Siaka moves at 18 off 21. He knows he's got a big job on his shoulders for the rest of this innings. 5.2 overs to go, and only 41 runs off 32. Can we get a couple of dot balls to add to the pressure? One punched onto the leg side once more. Hacks the ball and saves it just to 1 run. That brings Torre on strike. What will his mindset be for this last ball? If it was me facing H, I would just play this one at my feet and give young Siaka a chance to face the full next over from whoever that might be. But let's face it, his first delivery had a mighty windy woof at. Maybe he's going to go for broke here as well. In he comes, facing up, pushes outside the off stump and misses, and no run. Wandering over to point, having a chat. It's amazing how these days in cricket matches the batters always have a chat between deliveries these days. They say pump their fist, pump each other with their gloves. It's a real part of the game these days. Charlie on the Vicini end. Michael, right arm over the wicket. Bowling to Siaka, slower ball, one off stump and a play and a miss. And a dot ball's a good way to start the over. Siaka's been good, but he hasn't been dominant, so good bowling, guys. Keep this up. And the pressure will mount. We've now got 40 runs off 29 deliveries. This is a very important over. This is a very important over. Charlie comes in, that's a full toss, that's a poor delivery, that's going to be a no ball, that's going to be hit 4, and it's a free hit. It's just what the doctor did in order, H. It's just what the doctor didn't want. So he's got 4 runs from the high delivery, now he's got another delivery to bowl, and it's a free hit, a bonus run. Slower ball, punched down the ground, picked up, and they'll scurry through for 2 runs. Well run, well struck, well played. 6 runs at the last legitimate delivery. That makes it hard. We come Charlie. Chance to redeem himself, push down to the offside, and that's an easy run. Runs to win 32, balls remaining 27. Assad will be thinking, when will I bring the field in? Will I make them try and hit over the top? Will it be next over? Will it be the 17th over? I'm sure that situation will arise if they've got a run for the ball situation arising in the last couple of overs where they need one run per delivery to win. At the moment, runs are in front of balls remaining. Tory on strike, Charlie trying to change all that with a wicket. Swing, it's a high one in the air, underneath it. Oh, he's dropped it, but the 4 is saved, so they've only run, let's have a look, H. I think they've only they've run 2, is that correct? Well, they've only run 1. 2, they did get through for the second run, sorry, I apologise, I was looking at the cats there, so that was a catchable one. Have a look at it again on the replay. Fielder comes in, gets under the ball, never quite steady. Yeah. And again, a swing and a miss for the second last ball of the over. A dot ball. Well backed up in that scenario there, because that would have dribbled through for 4 if the fielder at mid-on hadn't run across and covered that space behind the drop cat. So that could be significant at the end of this game. In comes Charlie once more. A swing and a miss, and no run. That's the over. And Charlie now on none for 20 off his 3, and the bowling change will be made here. We'll just have a double check. There's the worm, they're still underneath it, but it's always easy to chase and judge when you're going to make your last push towards victory. So with wickets in hand, and there's 7 of them, you would still think at this stage of proceedings that the conquering Cassowaries are the favourites to win this outing. Siaka on strike. Assad Vala's brought himself into the fray. This will be interesting. Assad's last over. You'll be hoping it to be a tight one, hopefully with a couple of wickets, and preferably that of Siaka. Siaka now up to 26 of 26 deliveries, and the veteran into bowl right arm. It's been a bit of a mixed bag once again. That one's hit long, and it's hit for 1. Toure now, the left-hander facing Assad. He said he's fielded meticulously for this whole game, so he's making a few changes with the cover going deeper. We've got our mid-on coming wider, and now our backwards, it's really a fine leg now, coming down to a deeper fine leg, one of our outfielders. So plenty of players inside the inner ring. It's got to be on off stump, and is pushed wide of the chance for a run out, not out. Right-hander on strike. Now Assad comes over the wicket to the right-hander. Pushed out to the cover field, to the deep cover, and 1 run. Let's look at the equation, guys. 22 balls remaining, 28 runs to win. Assad comes around the wicket to the left-hander, pushed again and run. And a few changes more for the right-hander. Well done over the wicket. Big windy woof for that one, and that's gone the full max. That is D-Max. 6 runs. That's a beautiful shot. A brave shot. We did have a fielder out there, but he cleared the field quite comfortably. Got underneath it and given it the old heave-ho. And look at those Creo kids run for the ball. About 6 of them out there. I reckon give them a ball after the game. Let them keep the match ball. We've lost a Creo kid. He's outside the fence. He's looked at the ball, looked to see if it's a real one, and thrown it back. So well done to the Creo kids. Fabulous work. That's what we pay them big bucks, H. They got a lovely lunch, a lovely hat, a lovely shirt. Assad shifting the Creo kit on the boundary, I think, so get back to your position. Here we go. Right arm over. A bit quicker and push down for a single. They are running. Oh dear. Siaka keeps the strike, and the equation now is basically 1 run per 1 delivery. $18 balls to go, guys, and that will then crown our 2026 Barocco Motors T20 Smash champions. The Wormers turned again in favour of the all-conquering Cassowaries, but is there one more chapter to this story? Oru has bowled really well, probably in my opinion the most dangerous of the bowlers today. He's got one more over up his sleeve. He's bowling to Siaka, and this could change the complexion of things. And he comes right arm over, well pitched up, punch to the covers, short cover and no run. Siaka still thinking of that ball that jumped off the length a couple of overs ago. He's still looking at that spot just short of the length. And he comes once more, slower ball, and it's hit firmly out to the deep extra cover position, and they jog through for 2. A bit of a gift there. So in a perfect world, we'd like 10 runs off the last over. Whether that's going to happen or not, we're not quite sure, but that would make for a sensational finish to this tournament. In comes Ottawa bowls. Well, that's nearly, I think he's jammed that one onto his toe, but that's a beautiful Yorker. H has faced all these guys. He looks the slipperiest of all of them today, I'd say. Let's have a look at this again. He's right up into the block. Oh, he's jammed down on that. If a new batsman had copped that one, H, he would have been in real strife. That's what H calls a sandshoe crusher. In comes once more. Again, well pitched up. This one punched back to the bowler, hits the stumps, ricochets, and they get an easy run. And back for 2. Shows you how unfair this game is. A similar sort of shot in the first innings, ricocheted off the bowler's hands onto the stumps and hit the batsman. The batsman was given out run out, so he does more 2 deliveries in this over. A little bit short this time. He's got underneath that one, out to the mid-wicket region, and they've jogged through for 1. Siaka wandering down on 40 or 35. It's been a real captain's innings, this one. He's very proud of his efforts, and he's probably talking to his batsman down the other end saying, let's see it through, let's be the 2 here at the end of this. If we're here at the end, we've won the game. So that would be the story. He'd be saying, keep this one out at all costs. Punched out again to the offside, a slight misfield, and they jog back for 2. And that's over. 7 runs off that over. The equation now is this: 12 runs to win, 12 balls remaining. We need something special this over. Nice and cool in this box up here, H, but I'm sure the batters who have been running a lot of runs in the 30-degree heat, high humidity, a well-deserved drink. If they want any shiitake Japanese mushrooms, we'll bring some down to them if they would like. It's my shout, boys. It's my shout. Boy, you've got a treat tonight for your snack when you get home, mate. Tell you what, H, there'll be no ants in the room if we put those shiitake mushrooms everywhere, mate. They'll be keeping right out of the box. Right, Charlie, right arm over the wicket. Siaka on strike, and he's got that one round the corner, backward a square leg for 4. Slightly short. He's got his eye in now, hasn't he? He's judged this innings brilliantly when you think about it. We said only a few overs ago that he was behind in his run rate. You know, he's on about 25 or 30 deliveries, but now look at it, 44 off 36. He's accelerated when there's been a need to accelerate. Once again, pull the fingers on that one, and that gave the opportunities. It went down the leg side for Siaka to get underneath the ball, push it around the corner there. A beautifully played 4. And comes Charlie, right arm over the wicket. So has given this the old hevo as well. This time just the 1 run. The boy's got his eye in now, H. Will Charlie come around the wicket? He'll stay over the wicket to the left-hander, angling across, and we desperately need a wicket. Rolls of fingers up in the air, over the top, and 2 easy runs. Balls remaining 10. Let's just wait for the score to tick over, guys. So if balls remaining is runs to win 5, 9 balls remaining, it's going to be a pretty easy task now for the all-conquering Cassowaries. Big wicket whack at that one, he's got it down to mid-on, 3 for 1 run. A lot of arm waving there by the umpire, he's indicating 2 deliveries to go. Eight balls remaining, 4 runs to win. He's bowled him. He's bowled him, H. It's a slower one. He's rolled his fingers over that one. And Siaka who's out. It's Siaka who's out. I'm getting excited, H. I can see something happening here. That's well bowled by the young fella. He's got a bit of stick in that over. But again, he's run in, rolled the fingers, a bit of a slower ball, a bit of the off break, and it's knocked that off a middle stump right over his right back on its haunches, and well done to Michael Charlie there. He's got 1 for 28 or 3.5. He's got 1 more delivery, and what we want this delivery to be, H, is a dot ball. To be a dot ball, that would be give us last over 4 runs to win off the 6 balls. Who will bowl that last over? Who have they still got up their sleeve? That's what we've got to find out. It's one bit of data that H is looking at right now. Who's still got an over to bowl? You'd be pretty nervous if you have to bowl the 20th over in this one with 4 runs to win. Have a look at the field now. We mentioned this a while ago. He's moving up more plop fielders into the circle, less out, or is he going to contain them with a more conservative approach? So he's got 3, 4, 5 on the offside, 3 inside the circle on the offside. We've got that short mid-wicket position there too to cover it. I'll be ticked if there was anything on the legs here, just push and run. In he comes. Yep, down the leg side, as we said, push and run, and that's an easy single. That's not good because it puts Torre on strike for the last over. Assad looking at the who's he going to give this ball to. All day, even before it said we've been here since 7 a.m, maybe 7:15. We said we just want a close one on our hands, and with 1 over to go, we've got a game on our hands. 3 runs to win, 2 runs to tie, balls remaining 6, and who's coming in to bowl the last one, H?
Igor Moria.
It is Igor Moria, it is. I thought it might be. Igor Moria. Come on, mate. You can do it. You can do it. H is behind you. How do you say it? Purabada? Purabada. The boys from Purabada. Good luck, the central man. In case Moria on strike here. That run off the last balls put him on strike. In we come. We want a dot ball. Slash onto the onside. He's got it round for 1. Will they push for 2? No, they won't. Equation now. 1 run to tie, 2 runs to win, and 5 deliveries to go. Assad, he's bringing them in. Is he bringing them in? Yes, he is. As he said, there's no use. It's going for broke now, isn't it, H? It's going for broke. So we want the last few balls of this match to be absolute gems. Jaffas. We didn't have Jaffas today. H is saying we wish we had Jaffas instead of those mushrooms that we brought in. In comes Moria. Swing and a miss and a dot ball. Tell you what, they shouldn't have an old man in the box at this stage of proceedings, H. Might have to have one of those V's of yours. My goodness me, I'm excited. Hold on to that balcony out there, Halia H2O. Here we go. 4 balls remaining, 2 runs to win. Siaka out, Torre swinging like a rusty gate, and Moria hasn't faced many deliveries, so it's a game on our hands, H. Moria to Torre. Takes a big deep breath. Storms in, left arm over the wicket. A good line, a good length, down to fine leg, and this could be the winning run. This is the winning run, and a Creo boy picks up the ball. They're running for 3, and that is game. Just wait for the umpire's call here. What's he doing? He's shaking hands, so it must have been off the bat the last one, H. We're just looking for it off the bat, 3 runs. Congratulations to the all-conquering Cassowaries, and congratulations also to the Mariners. They put up a fight. Look at it. Only 3 balls remaining when those winning runs were hit. And we think about cricket being a winner, played in real spirits and going right down to the wire. You can see that the players now shaking hands with the umpires, shaking hands with each other, and really enjoying the moment. So congratulations to the captain, Legacy Ark, and Assad Vala. You did your teams proud. You both played very well today, and you captained your teams magnificently. Well done to our sponsors again, Barocco Motors. The T20 Smash has been a big hit. We've really enjoyed commentating, and we've loved the fact that cricket is now back on the agenda here in a big way for the whole of the country, really, but particularly here in Port Moresby. To host something like this is a great pleasure and a great honour. And thank you to Barocco Motors, Isuzu, for your sponsorship, and hopefully you'll continue. Thank you to our ball boys. We see them running around, the ball people rather, girls and boys, with their Creo shirts on. They did a splendid job. New innovation to cricket PNG, as is cricket, Creo cricket. Congratulations to the umpires, scorers. Thank you to H. He's done a mountain of work here getting everything up. Rugi, who's been absolutely magnificent. I don't think he slept for a week and a half. He can enjoy himself tonight and get a decent sleep. And also to out on the balcony there, we have Hello H2O. She's been there holding the camera for the last 2 days and hasn't really made a mistake, apart from the time she sneezed on Friday and sent the camera tumbling towards the grass. But apart from that, also all the people over there at the commentary position over near the main gate, you've done a wonderful job putting on Boy and everyone. All the people in the office, super effort, team effort. Margie, you can relax now. The drivers, everyone with Cricket PNG, thank you for putting this on. It's been splendid. Again, you look at the worm for the last time, and we said the worm, the green worm, was always under the purple worm. But when you're batting second and you only have to chase 109 runs, always your advantage, as was proven today. Thank you, coaches, as well. We forgot the victorious coach. We look at Johnny Oreo. J.O. What a splendid way. I think J.O.'s retiring for the coaching of the Barramundis in the next few months. I think Japan will be his last tour. But what a way to go out. I said he was sitting up in the stand this morning when I walked past it around about 7:30, just reflecting, thinking about what his plans were going to be, who was going to bat in what order, who was going to bowl. And John, congratulations, mate. It's a well-deserved trophy, and hopefully your name's on it as well as all the players. So from the team here up in the commentary box, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the game. Goodbye.